Greetings, good morning, and welcome. We are Crypto for Joe, cryptocurrency and blockchain ideas for your average Joe. Here today with Carlos, yet another average Joe. Carlos, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, brother. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So it's exciting to have you because we haven't had another average Joe on the show, and basically kind of want to hear a little bit about your story. I guess let's start off with how you got into cryptocurrency. I know that your initial forays, you kind of had a little bit of a rocky start, but can you tell us briefly how you got in?
Yeah. You and Cayman had told me about getting into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so I thought, well, okay, I'll buy some Ethereum. And I happened to buy it right at the top, and then it tanked and I lost like half my money the very next day, and I was like, screw this cryptocurrency crap. I cashed out. But then about a year ago, came to get into the cryptocurrency. And so I started doing some investigating and some research, and I bought the Ethereum. And then I started buying other cryptocurrencies, and through research, finding the things which I think are the ones that are for utility and used for the world. And those are the ones that I try to accumulate. So
we'll say this, you kind of have a little bit of an edge on most of your average Joes because you have retired recently, and a lot of us have to go to work. So you've done a little bit more research. In your opinion, right now, today, we're in 1st of September, 2021. What are your favorite cryptocurrencies right now, and why?
Cardano, because they're going to bank the unbanked. They're moving all over the world. Ripple, of course, which is in a lawsuit with the SEC, because that's going to be the digital currency for transfer and exchanges. Solana, because the speed in which it does. XLM, all of these are people, the vast majority are the people that broke off from Ballet, from Ethereum, and started their own projects because they had a different view of which way they wanted to go. And so each one is like its own little niche: Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, whatever. You can have your favorites, you can have whatever. They all do something. And just these are the particular ones that I like because they're the fastest. They have scaling to be done or whatever they're adding to it, smart contracts or whatever. But the speed at which they operate, the greenery at which they operate at is just so far past where Bitcoin or Ethereum is or might even be able to get to. They're already there.
Right. And it sounds like they have the contacts, the big banks and the money people behind them. So
they've got Cardano, if it's interesting for the average Joe, if you go to cardano.org and read about they're really big into Africa. That's their whole part. They're moving into different parts of the world, of course, but they're really trying to help the unbanked in Africa, education, healthcare, tracking everything so that everything's accessible and open on the blockchain.
That's interesting. I'll have to look at that. So how do you rate what you tell an average Joe rating the aforementioned cryptocurrencies, the ones you just said, versus Bitcoin and Ethereum? What would you tell a Joe about that?
I would say, Ethereum is great. It's gonna go up and up and up. It's going to continue to do marvelous things, but what it did, just like Ethereum it came from Bitcoin, and then it became Ethereum. And all these other things have broken down because they became what was missing in one cryptocurrency or lacking in another one. Someone's filling that void. And so to me, I would say buy Ethereum, hold Ethereum, but buy also these other coins are where Ethereum was 2-3 years ago. $90, $2.40, $1.80, whatever they are. And these things are fixing to be 40, 50, 100x.
Yeah, right.
Where Ethereum probably going to be 10 to 20x here short. But these other ones are going to be 40, 80, 100, 200, 1,000.
Right.
They're just now at the start where Ethereum's been in the program a lot.
Right. And that's the thing that average Joe has to keep in mind, that we're at the extreme beginning of this. Only 12% of Americans have traded in crypto. That was as of a couple of months ago. I suspect it's precipitously rising now. Tell us this. This is kind of an interesting one for average Joes who you go in, you don't do everything right. And I certainly haven't, and you probably haven't either. But what do you feel like is your worst mistake you have made since you've been into cryptocurrency?
I would say I have two separate accounts, one for my wife and one for I. and I had bought her, or we had purchased, X amount of Ethereum, and I traded some of it. I kept a lot of it, but just from a start point, I wish I would have just kept hers at Ethereum, and then mine done what I've done with all the other ones. Because as it goes out, we purchased a lot of stuff, but the overall outcome over the past year has been Ethereum has kept itself there and more, and the other ones have dropped or are coming back, and they haven't reached, or they have reached, just now start to break through.
Right.
So that's the only thing. Other than that, there's no really regrets, because it's a wonderful experience.
Okay, now cap us off. What is the best move you've ever made in cryptocurrency? The best single move?
The best single move would be two of them. Would be XRP. I bought at 19 cents, and then Cardano, the same thing. 88.
So what's XRP at now?
I think it's at $1.24 or something.
That's a nice little rise.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. And thanks so much for joining us today. And
I appreciate it.
We'll look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.